Have you ever cheered anyone on? Maybe a sports team or someone on the stage, a family member, a friend. Did you wave anything, like a scarf or a banner or a football rattle, a flag? Sometimes people shout words of encouragement, like cheering folks on, singing, "Come on, keep going, you can do it, faster." Now, if you were finishing a long journey, what would encourage you to keep going? In the story we're about to hear about Jesus, the crowds were cheering, but instead of waving scarves, they were waving palm leaves. Palm leaves. People in Jesus' land were hoping for a time when they would be free of the Roman soldiers who ruled their lives. They were hoping for a leader who would help them overthrow their enemies. They wanted different times. We all hope for different times and hope that things could be different in our lives. And sometimes we just want things to be better. As you listen to this story, think about your own hopes for the future. In our world today, what could be better? Now, in the Bible, it says that when Jesus came into the city of Jerusalem, the crowd was so excited, but it was also restless. Many had heard of Jesus' teachings and miracles, and they longed for a leader who would overthrow the Romans and make their lives better, more peaceful and more prosperous. The Romans had their land and they wanted it back. As Jesus rode through the city gates on a donkey, the crowds were there. Hundreds and thousands were there, and they cheered and they shouted and they sang, "Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord." And as the people began to throw off their cloaks and wave their palm leaves to pave the way, they dropped them on the ground. Their hearts were full of expectation. Some of the religious leaders grumbled about Jesus, and they hated it that he had so much support from the big crowds. They were jealous. Now, each year on Palm Sunday, which is the last Sunday before Easter Day, Christians remember the story of how Jesus entered Jerusalem, and everyone waved a palm branch, full of excitement and full of future hope. All around the world, Christians hold their own special Palm Sunday procession, where everyone marches around and follows a procession of people. In this church, palm crosses are handed out at the end of the service, made from a palm leaf. Now, at Easter time, Christians still like to think about their hopes and their future, but they understand that Jesus will come and he will bring peace in a different way. Now, draw or write on the palm leaf. Find a palm leaf and draw and write on it something that you think could make today's world a better place. Once you've finished it, look at it, hold it in your hand and have a little think for a moment of anything that you could do to help those hopes happen. And when you are ready, add your leaf down to the pathway on display. As we continue on our Easter journey, we will discover that the story didn't quite end as the people expected.